There is a language the rich speak that almost nobody else can hear. It is not in their words, it is in the things they wear without logos, the cars they don't post on social media, the watches that cost more than houses but look like they came from a department store. It is in how they pay, how they introduce themselves, what they refuse to brag about, and what they quietly own. I spent months studying genuinely wealthy people, not the loud kind, the quiet kind, the kind worth $20, $50, $100 million, who walk past you every day and you'd never guess. And I found 12 specific signs that once you know them, you will start to see everywhere. Signs that separate the actually rich from the people pretending to be rich. By the end of this video, you'll never look at wealth the same way again.
Because here is the secret nobody talks about. The loudest displays of money in your city are almost never the people with the most money. The biggest house on the block belongs to someone who is one bad quarter away from bankruptcy. The flashiest car on the highway is leased. The Instagram lifestyle is borrowed. Meanwhile, the person in the unbranded t-shirt buying groceries with a debit card might own 3 buildings on that same street. The rich, the truly rich, have learned something the rest of the world has not. Wealth shown is wealth losing. Wealth hidden is wealth growing. And the 12 signs I'm about to share with you are the markers they use to stay hidden, while everyone else stays broke, trying to look the part.
Sign number 1. They never explain what they do. Ask a genuinely wealthy person what they do for a living, and you'll get something like, "I'm in real estate," or "I run a small business," or a little of this and that. Vague, almost dismissive. Compare that to someone trying to look successful, who will tell you their job title, their company, their revenue, their LinkedIn headline, and their 5-year plan within 90 seconds of meeting them. The rich have learned that explaining your income to strangers is a vulnerability, not a status. The more they have, the less they say. The less someone says, the more you should pay attention.
Sign number 2. They wear expensive things you cannot identify. Watches without visible logos, bags without prints, sweaters that look basic from across the room but cost $2,000 up close. This is called quiet luxury, and it is the dominant aesthetic of generational wealth. Brands like Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, and Edward Green do not advertise. Their customers do not want a billboard on their chest. New money buys logos. Old money buys craftsmanship. If you see someone in plain cashmere and unbranded leather shoes, look closer. That outfit is probably worth more than 3 months of your rent. Sign number 3. Their cars are boring. Not always. There are exceptions, of course. But the most reliable pattern across wealthy households is that the daily driver is a Toyota, a Honda, a basic Lexus, or an unremarkable Volvo. The reason is simple. A car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. Spending $300,000 on a vehicle is, financially, the dumbest legal move a wealthy person can make, and they know it. The truly rich often save the supercars for a weekend hobby and drive a vehicle that doesn't attract attention. The Ferrari belongs to someone with debt. The Camry belongs to someone with assets. Sign number 4. They have time. Not the appearance of being busy. Actual, unstructured time. The rich do not constantly post about how slammed they are, how exhausted they are, how they only got 4 hours of sleep. That is the language of broke people, pretending to be important. The rich answer their own phones at noon on a Tuesday. They go for long lunches. They take their kids out of school for a Wednesday trip. Because they have something money buys that almost nobody else has: control over their own calendar. If someone is permanently busy and bragging about it, they are almost certainly an employee with no wealth. If someone is calm, relaxed, and available, they probably own the place. But here is where it gets interesting. Sign number 5 is the one that surprises people the most. The rich never round up. They never round down either. They use the exact number. When a wealthy person tells you the cost of something, they will say $12,352. Not about 12 grand. Not around 13. The exact figure. This is because they actually track their money. They know what every dollar costs and every dollar earned. People without wealth tend to estimate, round, or wave their hand at numbers. People with wealth recite them like phone numbers. If you find yourself in a conversation about money and someone gives you the precise figure without hesitation, you are talking to someone who has been paying attention for a very long time.
Sign number 6. They pay with debit cards or cash, not credit cards. This one breaks most people's intuition. The assumption is that rich people have black credit cards with no limit and gold-plated rewards programs. Some do, but the genuinely wealthy, especially old money, overwhelmingly pay with simple debit cards, basic checking accounts, and sometimes cash. Why? Because they don't need credit. They have the money. Credit cards are a tool for people who don't have the cash on hand. The truly rich either spend their own money outright or use credit cards strategically for points while paying the full balance every month. They never carry consumer debt. Never. It is the single clearest financial line between rich and broke.
Sign number 7. They undershare their wins. When a wealthy person closes a deal, sells a property, or makes a major investment, the people closest to them often don't find out for weeks, sometimes years. There is no announcement, no social media post, no celebration dinner with strangers tagged on Instagram. Because the rich have learned that publicly broadcasting your wins invites 3 things: envy from people who can't match it, predators who now know you have money, and family members who suddenly need help. The wealthier someone gets, the quieter they become about it. If your friend just got a massive promotion and you only learned about it from a third party 6 months later, that friend is starting to think like the wealthy.
Sign number 8. Their homes are functional, not impressive. Old money houses tend to look like houses. Big, yes, often beautiful, but not designed to make a statement. The kitchen is for cooking, not for photos.
The living room is comfortable, not curated. The art on the walls is something they actually like, not something a designer told them would impress visitors. Compare that to SU money or wannabe wealthy homes, which are often stuffed with expensive furniture, marble countertops, and chandeliers that scream their price tag from across the room. The rich don't decorate to impress you. They decorate to live well. There is a profound difference, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Now, stop for a second. If you're nodding along to these, ask yourself an honest question. How many of these signs describe how you currently behave with money? Because here's what I noticed studying genuinely wealthy people. Almost every single one of them adopted these behaviors before they had the wealth to back them up. They didn't become quiet, modest, and disciplined because they got rich. They got rich because they were already quiet, modest, and disciplined. The signs are not just markers of wealth, they are the very habits that produced it, which means you can start practicing them today, long before you have anything to hide.
Sign number 9. They never compete with strangers. The internal psychology of broke people is permanently competitive. They notice what their neighbor drives. They compare their salary to their co-workers. They get angry when someone they went to school with succeeds. The rich, by contrast, have an almost meditative indifference to what strangers are doing. They are not racing anyone. They are not trying to win anything visible. The reason is that competition with strangers is a tax on your peace, your time, and your money. The rich pay no such tax. They focus entirely on their own progress, their own portfolio, their own family. If someone never reacts to anyone else's flexing, they are either rich already or about to be.
Sign number 10. They surround themselves with people who don't care what they have. The wealthier someone gets, the more careful they become about who they spend time with. Not because they're snobby, but because they've learned that most relationships, given enough time, eventually circle back to money. Either someone wants help, wants a loan, wants an introduction, wants in. The rich gravitate toward other rich people, not for status, but for a specific reason. Those people don't need anything. The peace of being in a room where nobody wants anything from you is, for the very wealthy, more valuable than any luxury they could buy. It is the one thing money cannot purchase, only earn.
Sign number 11. They speak in decades, not months. Ask a normal person about their financial goal, and you'll hear about next month, this year, maybe next year. Ask a wealthy person, and they will talk in 20-year horizons, 40-year horizons, generations. Their investments are measured in decades. Their houses are bought to keep, not flip. Their portfolios are designed for grandchildren who haven't been born yet. This time horizon difference is not a personality trait. It is the actual structural difference between how rich brains and average brains process money. Once you start thinking in decades, the short-term noise of markets, headlines, and lifestyle pressure simply stops mattering. Most people never make that mental shift. The rich made it years ago.
Sign number 12. They have a number, and they don't tell you what it is. Every genuinely wealthy person I studied had a specific net worth target burned into their mind. The number they wanted to hit before they could exhale. The number their family needed to be truly safe.
the number that would let them retire on their own terms. They knew it precisely, and they would never, ever tell another person what that number was. Because the number is sacred. It is the entire structure their financial life is built around. The moment they share it, they invite comparison, judgment, and noise into the one decision that matters most. The rich keep their number quiet. The broke don't have a number at all.
So there it is. 12 signs of hidden wealth that most people will never notice. They never explain what they do. They wear unbranded luxury. Their cars are boring. They have time. They use exact numbers. They pay with debit, not credit. They undershare wins. Their homes are functional. They don't compete with strangers. They protect their inner circle. They think in decades. And they have a private number. 12 signs, almost invisible from the outside, almost universal across the actually rich. The people you assume are wealthy because they show it usually aren't. The people who keep all of this hidden almost always are. If this changed how you see wealth, the subscribe button helps us bring you more breakdowns like this one. This video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice.
Thank you for watching. Invest in yourself, invest in your future. See you next time.